Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nexus Gaming Series Division C East. We have Calculated Throw tonight versus Wood League. And joining me is the wonderful Born to Shine. How's it going, Born?
Hey, Mongoose. Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Excited to continue the fun that Season 6 has been this year with two returning teams who know each other pretty well, as there were some former teammates moving around here a little bit, so these guys definitely know each other. They last season against each other, and I believe both were in the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, they
So,
were.
so no strangers here. May see some of those fancy targeted bans as these teams go at one another. What you think, Born?
I'm definitely expecting to see some of that. I'm in a couple of shared discords with these guys. Everybody's played together. Some people were former teammates, so I think we're definitely going to see some target bans or maybe even some target banter with these teams.
Target banter. I like that.
Yep.
Like
Get
some,
everybody ready here.
or not even level 10. Ha ha ha. All right.
The banter's already coming out.
So in week one, Born, these teams had some opposite results of one another. I believe it was, as soon as I check my fancy notes here, Calculated Throw defeated Team Rectum 2-0, so they're currently sitting with one domination. I know, you can't help but giggle, right? And Wood League lost to another familiar name, Zul'jin Distillery 0-2 in their round one, so they're trying to get up off the mat for the second round, and they started. So I guess I better to switch.
They're ready to go.
They are chomping at the bit here.
I mean, it's going to be a great matchup. Said I've played with these guys before. Everybody's similar skill level, so I'm interested to see the plays and the drafts from both these guys.
Me as well, and I love Infernal Shrines as kind of game one, as Kael'thas is banned by
It's a good
this.
ban for this map.
Yeah, for sure, banned by Wood League. Infernal Shrines is like a great kind of neutral map, so it really gives teams kind of a chance to feel each other out for the rest of the series.
Yep, and it's one of my favorite maps too, so I might just be a little biased, but I love this map, so I'm always excited when teams pick it.
Asmodan, the annoying banned out number 2 there. Yeah, I actually like Infernal Shrines just fine. I used to love it, but we honestly played so much of it last season, I think I got a little bit of Infernal Shrines burnout.
Yeah. I love playing Alex, and she shines on this map, so it's always a top choice for me.
Yeah, Zeratul taken out here by Wood League. Yeah, Alex is fantastic on Infernal Shrines. She kind of like shortens the number of Shrine Monkeys you need to get. If you can get to 25 to 30 and then pop the Dragon Queen, you're really in a good spot.
She helps, especially, zoning that other team out. Oh, and there we have it, the Alexstrasza ban. They don't want to deal with her on her best map. So, none of that tonight.
And Anubarak, who's really flying high at the top of the tank meta, first picked by Wood League.
I'm here to help. It makes sense on this map. You see a lot of people picking, mages like Kael'thas or Jaina like we have here. So, again, like I said, makes sense to me. We'll have to wait and see what their second pick is.
And not only that, a well-timed cocoon can turn a 5v4, turn a 5v5 into a 5v4 real fast. It's such a powerful heroic if you don't have a way of dealing with it. As Jaina picked up by Calculated Throw.
Two strong picks here on this map. Johanna's helpful with both the wave clear and with the clear on Shrine, and as in every other situation, she is an excellent wall between you and the enemy team.
And Jaina and Johanna both don't really show anything. If you're Calculated Throw, they can fit into pretty much any composition. They clear the Shrine Monkeys fast. And for the side of Wood League, we're going to have Phoenix and Tehran. So the Tyrande is going to be a lot of follow-up onto the Anubarak double stun with Hunter's Mark. That's the great start of a rotational blow-up comp if you're Wood League.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, if they can follow up with those combos. Arthas ban coming out on the side of Calculated Throw here.
I'm curious if that's a targeted ban, or they just don't like playing against Arthas. I mean, he's good right now. I would be very interested to ask Mystic the specific thoughts behind that ban if we ever get the opportunity.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of him, as off lane here and there. So, ooh, Sergeant Hammer, I feel though has to be a target ban.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And the Arthas ban on the flip side, if you were targeting Hammer, would kind of make sense going the other way as well.
Yep. To wait and see here. See if we get our heals from Grievant.
Yeah, I would imagine you're going to leave a flex pick at the end here. And offlane Rexar with his new buffs. I've heard some good things. Very curious to see how that plays out. And Raynor with Jaina, ace in the hole with the permaslows are really good together.
Yep. I too am curious to see about the Rexar. I've heard good things. Haven't actually seen him in NGS play or anything yet. So this should be good.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in NGS quite yet either, but I've had some people I've had some contact with kind of tentatively saying that they think he has a spot, so I'm curious what that spot is. On the flip side, though, we have a Varian and a Thrall with the triple front line. I'm wondering, is that going to be Windblade's Variant?
I'm thinking probably gonna see some Windblades here. Like you said, that's a very strong front line. They got some serious beef you're gonna have to get through to get to the Toronto or the Phoenix.
And there's the White Mane band to round it out.
White Mane?
Well, special.
I haven't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I haven't seen too much of White Mane since her, her slight tweaks or her changes. So this will be interesting to see if she can keep up those same healing numbers that she had before.
Yeah, and I am a little worried with. Doesn't have fantastic mobility with the big front line coming out for Wood League. If she's going to be able to stay up. But thanks to Jay's On for rating with some 12 viewers, and you guys are arriving just in time to catch Game 1 of Division C East, Calculated Throw versus Wood League, and early advantage going to Calculated Throw with the Portrait Synergy born.
For sure. I'm on point. I'm liking it.
I really want to see if they're going to do something with the Windblades, and I assume. Well, I was going to say, I assume with the Raynor, he will go Warbringer instead of Shield Wall at 10, but Shield Wall also is really good to just eat a Jaina combo, so I could really see it going both ways, actually.
Yeah. I think we'll just have to wait and see from both these teams. But I definitely think it's going to be an exciting matchup for sure.
I don't know why this just dawned on me, but I don't think I've ever seen the interaction. I assume when you cocoon Rexar, Misha is still there, yeah?
I would assume so.
I just
I
don't
don't think I've ever
seen
now
that.
that you mentioned it, I don't think that either, yeah.
Huh. Well, something to keep out for. All right, the blue team here. Calculated Throw. Danalore on White Mane. Mystic on Jaina. Acheron on Johanna. Mona Derp on Jimmy Raynor. And Grevant on Rexar or Misha.
Yep. And over for the red team, we've got Porix on Varian, Kavlor on Thrall, J-Mac on Anubarak, Running Idiot on Tyrande, and
Barcode.
it's either L or L on Phoenix.
I think we go with Barcode.
Barcode on Phoenix. There we go.
So Rexar and Misha weren't invited to this party. They're already up in the top lane. Everyone else kind of posturing around. Nobody eats the owl from Tyrande. But the minions find Johanna in the bush. That was weird.
A little strange, but early stun coming out from Anubarak. Jaina makes it out no problems.
I will say in the early game, though, I think the calculated throw Johanna Jaina should have the rotation advantage, because the Johanna Jaina should just really be able to burn through these waves and then kind of move on with their life. And also in the top lane, I imagine Rexar and Misha are going to absolutely bully a Varian. We're going to go check on that in a minute. So I really want to see Calculated Throw get a lane advantage here in the early game.
Yeah, I definitely think, like you said, they're going to be able to with the Johanna and the Jaina. They should be able to clear these lanes, no problem. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm up in the top lane now watching these. Varian is going to have issues. I don't think there's any two ways about that.
Yeah. He doesn't come online really until 4, so I think it would be smart to play it safe for the moment. You know, get the soak, but don't push out too far.
teams feeling each other out. We'll see how these two shot callers decide to prioritize the camps as we move along.
All right, it looks like calculated throw, like I mentioned, prioritizing camps. They're pinging theirs. They're going to go clear that with Johanna anchoring here in the bush. Veranda sniffs them out, though. Oh, they don't think they're going to follow up.
Nah, I just wanted to kind of know where they are. Both teams going to trade out mid bruisers here. And checking out the top lane, Born, that Varian's, he's hurting a little. Misha, Rexar, not so much. They're pretty happy campers.
Yep. Not surprised. Like I said, I think it would be wise to play it safe if you're Varian and until a little bit later in game.
So we're going to see here very soon, and Born, red alert, Twin Blades Varian as speculated.
Yep. All right.
Somebody gets.
Thought we were going to see. Makes sense.
Yep. Get to Twitter. Get to Reddit. Tell your friends. Twin Blade Varian here in the NGS.
All right. And it looks like actually at this moment, Soap going over on the side of Wood League.
Yeah, that really
slightly ahead.
That really surprises me. I wonder, there had to have been some missed soak from the side of calculated throw for that to be the case, because their early clear and rotate should be better, better than Wood League's, no doubt.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is maybe calculated throw missed a little bit while they were on that camp, because otherwise it seems like they've been following up, you know, with those rotations in lane pretty well.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Rexar soloing the top camp, while the rest of calculated throw here is brawling in the mid lane. Lunar Flare connects on nobody. Small Shrine Monkey advantage to start, but Anubrak is getting chunked down really hard, walking away slowly, much too slowly, forced to peel for himself, and I think J-Mac is going to go tap.
Yep, looks like we've got calculated throw moving in here on the shrine a little bit. Gonna try and hopefully start getting some of those monkeys for themselves.
So Twin Blade Varian looking good so far. They're already halfway through the objective. Anubrak eating a full blizzard one more time. I don't think he's gonna get out this time. Burrow charge is up. Monodurp on the Rainer, just laying on the backside. But the priority from Wood League was on the Shrine Monkeys. Varian just wasn't attacking anybody. They're able to get close, but traded out so much damage that they're going to be forced to withdraw and re-engage here in a few seconds.
They have a little bit of time here. They have the advantage with the Shrine Monkeys, but you know, with a little bit of poke, they could easily take this away from calculated throw.
Yeah, I think this is still Wood League's to lose. They only need 2 more. They're stepping in now. There's going to be 1. There's going to be 2. Poor Misha's in trouble. Eats the bed of barbs. And first blood is a third of a kill? Is Misha a third?
Third or a quarter, maybe? A quarter.
But Misha goes down nonetheless.
Oh, poor Misha. It's always so upsetting.
So first objective over to Wood League. They were just able to get there and get it done faster. Calculated throw playing catch up so much. Weren't quite able to do it, but boy, they're burning this Arcane Punisher down real quick.
Yep. They're going to be able to keep that fort pretty easily. Both teams have people soaking in other lanes, so looks like, you know, usually with the first objective on this map, it doesn't do too much damage.
Well, Born, I said to hit the Twitter, and that's what Jayzon did. He hit the Twitter and reported to the Twitter sphere that Twin Blades Varian is indeed active right here.
Telling everyone we've
that's
got
right.
Twin Blades.
We're all looking out for each other here. So Rexar looks like he's trying to do the dual soak thing. Varian trying to match. I don't think Varian can dual soak really, so we'll see how this rolls for Wood League.
Yeah, I don't think his clear is going to be quite as good as the Rexar Misha combo.
No, and you're already seeing it just kind of off map. And the amount of time it took Rexar to clear top, rotate down, and start back up again. Varian just now arriving at the mid lane.
Yeah. Both teams still trying to prioritize that soak, though. It looks like calculated throw is getting their camp out again.
That was really nice body blocking by J-Mac, kind of bullying the Johanna, but took a lot of damage, forcing himself to burrow away.
Yeah. I don't know if he was just trying to kind of make a nuisance of himself or trying to see if the team would follow up on an invade on their camp there, but calculated throw does secure their camp. Johanna scoping out Woodley doing the same on their side of the map.
Well, they're trying to step in. They recognize Anubarak very low on health and mana, but Woodley able to finish it off before being forced off of the camp. And really close game. No full kills, only a Misha fallen thus far. Experience is actually identical. Both teams have mercs pushing down the mid. The only advantage real is a small wall advantage structurally for Woodley thus far.
And just on that one fort in bot lane.
So we'll see teams getting very close to level 10s here. Wood League has broken up into 3 different parts to make sure they soak, while Calculated Throw leaving Rexar to do his thing and staying in the 4-man. So a couple different approaches here to tackling the map right now. Level 10s are on board for Wood League. We have Sundering for Thrall. It is going to be Warbringer for Varian, so not the Protected, but the cooldown reduction on the E and the ability to charge onto an ally. Starfall for Tyrande, Cocoon for Anubarak, and Phoenix is still being a little cheeky. It is going to be Purification Salvo.
Salvo, yep. And it looks like Calculated Throw picking up that bot camp before heading up for objective. They've got their own 10s online now. We are going to see Ring of Frost from the Jane, Blessed Shield from Johanna, Hyperion from Raynor, and Unleash the Boars from
Unleash the Boars. That is a talent I have not talked about in a long time.
Yep.
What I will say, though, between the Jaina and the Unleash the Boars, though, that is a lot of slow procs for Jimmy just to get a lot. I mean, that's going to be a ton of bonus damage.
And if he throws down that Hyperion and everyone's slowed, they're going to be stuck in it.
So Ring of Frost catches 3. Wood League is going down fast. Varian the first to fall. Anubarak, we seem to be saying this a lot, always running for his life, but never quite going down. However, Rexar and Misha in trouble too. Phoenix not able to finish the job. 2 for no. Varian and Phoenix go down. Calculated Throw on the way to securing the Mortar Punisher here in the mid lane.
Yep, I mean, definitely a trade in their favor. 2 for none, and they're going to be able to clear up the shrine here without too many issues.
Yeah, a big time Ring of Frost there from Mystic on the Jaina, really setting up that team fight. I do like the call, though, from Wood League, just kind of rotating away to another lane, clearing top, getting value bottom, making sure they don't miss soak and don't lose any opportunity to find something else somewhere on the map, since they weren't going to get the objective at that point.
Yep, no, that's a good call on their part, like you said, for sure. Too many teams would have gone back in, tried to get the shrine, but I think they did the right thing by prioritizing that soak so they don't fall too far behind in XP.
So mid fort here for Wood League is going to go down, no two ways about it. Calculated Throw are going to continue to push in with a fairly healthy John Cena, who jumps onto Thrall. The follow-up onto the Thrall, stunned, slowed, down goes Thrall.
Yep. Punisher almost dead, and he falls, so looks like it's time, if you're a Calculated Throw, it is time to back out.
Yeah, it is definitely a underrated aspect of playing on Infernal Shrines, kind of getting a feel for when that Immortal is about to jump. It's extra CC for your own team if you can follow up on it.
Yep.
I tank on my squad, and you ask my guys, and I'll say a lot. I'm going. Whenever Jimmy goes, or wherever John Cena goes, I'm going too. It doesn't matter who it is. Just whoever he goes on, that's who we're going to get.
Yep. It's a good chance for follow-up, a good chance to get, if you can swing it, an easy kill. So definitely something to prioritize.
Well, and not only that is, whoever that Punisher jumps on, if you do a follow-up stun and hold him there, John Cena continues to beat up on him too. It's not just your team that's getting the damage in, it's that Punisher who's doing it too.
Yep. Yep. Looks like Calculated Throw here. They got 2 mid camps. They're going for bot camp as
yeah, a little late on the rotation from Wood League. I'm trying to watch this top lane fight a little bit. Varian and Rexar are just clobbering each other. Now that he's got the heal, Varian can hang in there a little bit. He can actually just kind of wail on Misha and keep himself up for the most part.
Yep. Like I said, a little bit stronger now. That early game, not so much, but, you know, give him a few talent tiers, and Varian can hold his own much better.
Yeah, but Twin Blades Varian really doesn't come online till 7 when he gets the heal on his auto attacks. Before that, he is kind of useless.
Yeah, not so much an early game hero.
Not even.
But it looks, oh, a Nubrak going in mid lane here. We have another ring coming out from Jaina. One target on the, oh, and down goes Thrall. Joanna in the middle of the cocoon. Rexar getting chased out. Varian getting his chance for revenge.
Yeah, it looks like, is it gonna get him? No, but...
Oh! But the Purification Salvo not getting any targets there.
Man, that was a fight that really could have gone either way. Varian was so close to bringing down Rexar. The salvo so close to bringing down a number of members of Calculated Throw.
That very easily could have gone in Woodleague's favor, but Calculated Throw does come out on top. They steal the Bruiser camp there before heading down to objective.
Yeah, now Calculated Throw going to have that 16 advantage. This is going to be a tough hill right now if you're Woodleague. I imagine they're going to probably stay somewhere else on the battlefield, maybe push top lane since the objective is bottom. Maybe they're going to try to catch Rexar on camp if they would have owled that, but the owl may have revealed that there's only 4 there. You really don't ever want to take a 14v16, but if you're going to do it when you're up a man, that's the time.
Yeah, now is their time. It looks like they have the same thought. They're going in, the cocoon going out on the white main. Johanna falling low, but that ring, look at that. All 4 members, almost all 5. A Nubarak falling to that damage.
Yeah, that was a 4-on-4. A fantastic cocoon made it a 4-on-3. They really honed in on that Jaina. But Mystic, on his way back to the Call of Storms, dropped a 4-man ring as a parting gift and then turned that into a trade. And now both teams brawling.
Oh, Phoenix going down. Rexar takes him out. Didn't back fast enough. And it looks like probably the Shrine going to go over to Calculated Throw.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it in their Born, but there was a herd of boars in the middle of all of that. Right before Phoenix's teleport got interrupted, the boars came out. So, nice job by Calculated Throw. They're going to have Punisher pushing down the bottom lane. They're going to have 2 Merc camps pushing in the mid lane momentarily. And Mystic on Jaina was actually prepping that mid lane. So there's going to be a lot of map pressure here pushing down toward Woodleague.
Rexar taking that bot camp too, so they're going to have a camp to follow up behind John Cena here in bot lane.
Yeah, I will say, kind of hard to make a judgment after one game, but Rexar seems to be having an impact. He's been impactful in team fights, getting a lot of Merc camps, John Cena diving in on the keep, while the members of Calculated Throw take out the outer wall. This John Cena is almost down, even talent tiers. I'm curious how far Calculated Throw is going to go.
They have a camp, even though John Cena's almost dead. They've got a camp pushing in here. I think if they push a little bit, they can take that keep. Especially now with 3 kills.
Yeah, especially with the Ring of Frost following up on the Punisher. Ring of Frost after Ring of Frost after Ring of Frost this game. I don't know if Mystic missed one. Every time he hit that R button, something happened. Something good happened.
Yeah, for sure. There were at least 1 death, usually 2 or 3. So I think definitely a Nubarak going down here too, and it looks like that's probably going to be it. Going to be game here. Game 1 going over to Calculated Throw.
One of the fun things about casting these best of 3 is you get to see the adjustments teams make to one another as the set goes on. Yeah. And if you're Woodleague, I think you either have to ban the Jaina or take the Jaina away by picking her yourself, either one. But Mystic was just was money, and he didn't even have. Typically, you want some kind of Ring of Frost setup. Didn't have a lot of prototypical Ring of Frost setup either. There wasn't like an ET mosh pit or anything like that. A lot of them were just unassisted.
Yeah, and I mean, spot on with almost every single one of them. Definitely got value there. I would definitely, if I were Woodley, definitely consider banning or taking the Jaina and possibly even the Rexar. Like you said, they got a lot of value there. In the solo lane, taking Merc camps for sure. I would look at those 2 heroes as definitely being impactful in the next round.
12-1 in the kills department. I think, excuse me, that game was closer than it felt like until calculated throw really got that 16 advantage. All of the engagements leading up to that point were really coin flips that something could have changed to gone Woodleague's way. So it seemed kind of one-sided when you look at it on the scorebook afterward, but it didn't feel that way during the game.
If that one team fight that they had in mid there, if it had gone slightly different, a lot of the members on calculated throw were low, couldn't quite secure the kill on the Rexar. Purification salvo came out afterwards, didn't quite secure those kills on anyone. But if just a slight shift in that other direction, and that team fight could have gone a whole different way and shifted the balance of the game for sure, I think.
And you brought up that, excuse me, that mid team fight, the one where Varian was just chasing down that Rexar and couldn't quite finish him off.
Yep.
I wonder, one of the problems that Twin Blades Varian has is staying on his target. I wonder if maybe an Earthquake might have served them well with the Thrall instead of the Sundering. You pop that Earthquake and it holds the members of Calculated Throw there and allows Twin Blades Varian to stay on them. I wonder if something like that may have made a difference.
I absolutely think you're right. Especially with the Phoenix pick, I think the Earthquake on the Thrall instead of the Sundering would have been a good pick. Have the slows for the Varian to stay on his target, have the slows to help with the Purification salvo for Phoenix. I've seen that combo before, and it seems to be really effective and work really well. So I definitely think that that's a tweak that could have been made there.
Yeah, I didn't even actually think about the Purification salvo, but you're 100% correct. Earthquake salvo is really solid, and I forget who it was on the Thrall, but they hit some big Sunderings. It wasn't how the Thrall was, or it wasn't how the Sundering was used. It's just, I think the Earthquake might have blended in a little bit better with the composition that Woodleague was running.
Yeah, not that, like you said, Sundering, still had some impact and everything, but personally, if I had had that comp with the Phoenix, I definitely would have prioritized the Earthquake instead of Sundering.
So game 2, Born, it looks like, let's see, team 2 gets first pick, so that means that Woodleague chose first pick, and Calculated Throw chose to take us to the best competitive map in Heroes of the Storm, Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom.
What makes Towers so fun is the game just never seems to be over.
I mean, it's the best comeback map in the game. You could be down, have 5 altars left and the other team have 30 some, and you can make a comeback and win this game. I have seen it happen.
100%. I've had multiple team leagues on this map where it seemed like down 27-1 in core health, we came back and won. 33-1 in core health, come back and won. Of course, you don't really want to be down 27-1, but it can be done. Is the point.
It can be done. It's a little bit of extra stress there when you only have that one left on your core. But like you said, it's doable. There's always an opportunity for a comeback with this map. So definitely a good chance to see the team fights. Definitely a good chance to see these teams show what they've got. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, honestly, when you're down that much, if you do fall down that much on towers, I honestly think probably the hardest part of the comeback is keeping the mentality that you can still make the comeback, not kind of getting down on the game like, oh well, GG, let's get out of here. It's kind of keeping that stick with it mentality.
Yeah, because if you can keep your mental focus sharp, stay on top of the map, pay attention to things like camps and the boss, then you can definitely make that comeback. You just have to, like you said, keep that attitude of we got this and stay on top of it.
So just waiting to get the R's from Woodleague, and then we get going with game 2. And if Woodleague forces it, could have a 3-game set.
Either way, it's gonna be another exciting matchup, I'm sure.
And if you're those guys in Woodleague and comms right now, I'm not down on that game at all. It's just a couple things go our way. It's a totally different game. You reset, you come back, maybe make a few adjustments in draft, and then you pick up the points and force that game 3. Easy peasy.
I think a big part of it after a loss like that isn't necessarily, oh, what changes could we have made with our draft? What changes could we have made with, heroic picks or talent picks? It's just, again, keeping that mentality of it's all right. That's one game, it's a loss, but we can come back from this. We got this. Keeping that mental attitude, that positivity. I think that's most of the battle, personally.
Yeah, and we saw it a lot in week one of season six. There were all kinds of game one losers who turned into 2-1 winners. My team did it.
Hmm.
Logical Decision did it. A number of other teams who I'm sure I'm not mentioning did it last week. So, um,
My team, Almost Legends, did it with their series last week.
actually, yeah, you're right. I casted that one too. Yeah, Almost
Yep.
Legends
Even
did
though
it.
I wasn't playing, but they lost the first game and then came back and won the next two.
What's funny is when I casted that second game, I must have
Hmm.
put something down wrong. I put that you guys only had two replays, so I assumed when the other team won the first game that game two would also be a 2-0 because I only had two replays. And I'm thinking, how in the world is Almost Legends going to throw this? And then they didn't. You won it, and I
Yeah.
had to very quickly go on the site and grab the third replay.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, but during that game, I'm like, they're so far ahead. How in the world is this game going to go?
Would have been a throw for the ages.
There it is, Born the Jaina ban.
Yep. Yep. Just like we predicted. I would have done the same thing. That's a smart move on their part. Mystic was on point with those rings, so removing that from the draft here, I think is a good decision.
And now let's see who Calculated Throw takes off the battlefield. Asmodan again, just
Mhm.
not letting him play. I
Yep.
get that. I can't stand playing against Asmo. He's annoying, frankly.
He is, and even with the slight tweaks to his Q build, I've still seen he's still fairly strong. I've still seen him banned a lot, and there's that Zeratul ban again on the side of Wood League. So again, must be targeting somebody on calculated throw, but they really don't want to have to deal with that Zeratul.
And I've seen a Tyrande ban coming out for Calculated Throw this first week of NGS. I almost said Chairly. Of NGS has seen a lot more Zeratul than I thought. To be honest with you, he's really been all over the place and has
Yep.
been a factor. Banned a lot, picked a lot. We see in the highlight reels that come up in that Discord channel a lot of Zeratul setup, and I've seen the VP setup for all kinds of
Yep.
different wombos, not just the kind of OG first pick a Nubarak again, not just kind of the original APOC Ring of Frost, but plenty of other things as well.
Yeah, and I think not that it's good that we no longer have a pro scene, but I think with that lack of a pro scene, there's this void to be filled, and members of the everyday player base of our community can step up and say, okay, what do we want to play? What do we think could be strong?
Anytime
What
you're
can we
ready.
do in our games?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think the scene as constituted without, especially even like Division S can provide this a little bit, but they're not playing right now either because the season hasn't
Yep.
quite started yet. But without like kind of the recognized highest level of play to try to pattern yourself after, I think the meta gets diversified a little bit and you see a
Absolutely.
little more originality, a little more creativity. For example, if this is an off-tank Arthas, is this Syndragosa and Purification Salvo? Because you have your double frontline already. Maybe Arthas can afford to go Cindy with the Salvo here.
Yep, and I've seen that before. I've seen quite a bit of Arthas lately, and Syndragosa several times. So, like you said, it allows for that diversification, that creativity. Players and teams don't feel like they're as locked into this like concrete idea of what the meta is and has been decided for them.
And you called it, Born. No more Rexar. The first ban of
Yep.
Rexar in NGS that I've seen. Actually, not just NGS. That is the first Rexar ban I have seen in a long time, other than maybe the occasional Braxis holdout ban.
Yep. They don't want the Rexar and they don't want the Jaina. Like I said, those would have been personally my two top prioritized bans based on last game, and it looks like Wood League agrees with me.
But Rexar ban means no Hammer ban.
And that means that Hammer's gonna make it through this time around. So I've seen her played with some great success on this map. She can set up and defend towers pretty well. If you position her correctly, she can defend the altars as well and poke for forever.
And not just that, Nexus Edge plug. If you haven't watched the Nexus Edge episode, top 5 plays this week. One of them was Mystic on Sergeant Hammer, standing in the middle of a team fight with AoE spells going off all around him. Somehow, he didn't die, and he literally sat there sieged, auto-attacking away, and was a 5 wipe. So Mystic clearly knows how to play him. I think we will see a double soaker here. Or not. I don't think Mal'Ganis can double soak, and somebody pulled the stats. Mal'Ganis did not play in week 1 of NGS.
No, I was going to say that's the first I've seen of Mal'Ganis. He usually, in a lot of games I've seen, has been banned. No one wants to deal with him either. But with the target bans coming out from both these teams, that lets him slide on through the draft.
Well, and not just banned. I've seen him go through the draft completely ignored many times.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I casted the most games last week, and I am almost positive I didn't see a single Mal'Ganis pick or ban.
That's interesting because he was all over the place for the longest time up until like just recently. If he wasn't banned, he was picked 100%.
Yeah, he was one of those heroes that's just kind of in your face. He's really annoying. He's making everybody take a nap. He's just aggravating to play against.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll get to see our first Mal'Ganis play then here in NGS.
The pick still surprises me, though. I just was kind of figuring Calculated Throw was thinking to put the hammer in the bottom lane and then get some kind of like Azul or a Leoric or a Malthael that can double soak the top 2 lanes and really let Hammer pressure that bottom lane. So I'm curious how Calculated Throw is going to arrange these lanes.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even give that a whole lot of thought, but yeah, you're right. It'll be interesting to see for sure. I mean, who knows? Maybe Sergeant Hammer, Mystic's going to want to sit in the middle of all those team fights again. You never know.
Johanna could fake it as a double laner if they wanted to use Mal'Ganis as the main tank. I suppose they could do that. But let's introduce our squads here. The blue team, Calculated Throw, Acheron on Johanna, Danalor on Whitemane, Monaderp on Raynor, Grevent on Mal'Ganis, and of course Mystic on Sergeant Hammer.
And on the red team for Wood League, we've got Running Idiot on Ana, J-Mac on Anubrat, Porix on Arthas, Kavlor on Li Ming, and we'll go with Barcode on Phoenix.
And Grogman in chat telling us that Mal'Ganis did play NGS Week 1 versus the Sweaty Bandits. I'm going to assume that's Olaf and the Sweaty Bandits, because I'm not aware of any other Sweaty Bandits.
Those are the only Sweaty Bandits I've heard of personally, so... And it looks like we've got Hammer in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Here, and then Mal'Ganis heading up top to face off against Arthas.
A little bit of a kind of disjointed setup from Calculated Throw right now. Wood League is running a much crisper rotation right now. And
they're on top of it.
Yeah, and Ana has caught Raynor soloing this camp. Members of Wood League coming in. Raynor could be in trouble. They actually catch Whitemane coming to reinforce. Now the stun onto the Whitemane. More members of Wood League are here, but this is very quickly turning into a pretty brawly 4v4.
Oh, yeah. Members of Wood League just pushing in on that camp, pressuring Calculated Throw, and they are going to back out a little bit here, and Wood League is going to take that camp.
Yeah, but Mystic was just sitting on the backside, hammering away. But mission accomplished by Wood League. Despite the low health bars, they did secure the camp, and they got away without anybody dying. So I'm going to call that an early game win for Wood League.
For sure. Like you said, they backed out. They had low health, but they didn't lose anybody. So not a bad beginning to this. It looks like Mal'Ganis here was down catching that mid soak, rotating back up top to where Arthas is. For our solo laners.
So Calculated Throw, now one more of a traditional lane setup. Let's see how these guys do. But of course, immediately as I say that, it's going to be the first triple altar spawn of this game. No globals to count for. So let's see how these two teams distribute their resources.
Calculated Throw maybe trying to do the same thing to League that happened to them earlier, kind of pushing in on their camp a little bit, scoping it out.
Yeah, Mystic is in a great spot here. The auto attacks are just doing work. He's absolutely zoning them away. Phoenix drops just off a camera in the bottom lane, and that forces Wood League off and allows for a double cap on the side of Calculated Throw. So 2 bell towers going over to Calculated Throw, only 1 for Wood League.
Yep, and they take that bottom sapper camp as well, so it looks like the teams at this point have essentially traded sapper camps, 1 for each of them.
And now the siege, yeah, the siege is going to start here.
Setting up down there in bot lane, in her usual spot. And they're going to push in and get, it looks like towers and a wall down here on that bottom tower.
You know, when I mentioned I wanted Calculated Throw to pick up somebody who can double soak, that's what they're doing with Mal'Ganis. I've never seen a team try to double soak with him, so I'm kind of trying to watch the minimap to see how effectively he can do it without missing soak, and it's not quite there. You can see just finishing the top lane as the mid lane crashes. So, as I thought, Mal'Ganis is not quite able to fully double soak. Raynor actually had to come up here and catch the second half of that wave.
Now, I've heard some people say that he's fine for soaking. I'm not sure if there's a particular build you have to take. I myself am not a tank player, a warrior player, but yeah, I definitely don't know that was the pick here.
Well, if the Mal'Ganis could be fine, but I don't think it was the pick if you wanted somebody who could double soak on towers in particular. The 2 lanes are pretty far from one another, so you need a hero that can wave clear quickly so they can remount and get down there. So that's like Leoric after 4, Malthael with On a Pale Horse, Sewell who can do it on any map. But Grevent is doing an admirable job of doing that as best as he can, but it's not ideal.
No. But I mean, both teams roughly even in XP right now, so no one falling behind just yet.
And Calculated Throw kind of at a split engagement here. Mal'Ganis is actually top, takes to sleepwalk on his way in to get up with his team, but took a lot of damage to do that.
Mystic setting up and eating that Li Ming orb, getting the stun on the Anubarak. Calculated Throw falling pretty low here.
Yeah,
realizing that coming in.
And there's the reset. If you have a Li Ming, you need that reset. Kavlor, unfortunately, didn't have the mana to really capitalize. But the Ana bio grenades were actually being very effective in that team fight there.
Yeah, and even though Li Ming unable to get those resets, that 1 kill was all that Wood League needed to be able to push in, force Calculated Throw to back out, and then cap them and alter to make this even 32-32.
Yeah, that's actually the first time this game that we've seen a situation where Wood League was able to make Mystic uncomfortable. They got to him with damage, forced him off of his spot, and that's something they hadn't been able to do quite yet.
Looks like they're forcing out Johanna now, falling a little bit, gonna make it out. Both teams still intact. We've got Mal'Ganis back up in top lane again, working to clear that. Arthas in mid, and Raynor rotating up to catch that soak again, while Mal'Ganis just completes that top wave.
Yeah, that's a great recognition as an initiation onto Hammer. The self-procking Unstoppable gets Mystic out. Okay, Johanna does have Iron Skin, so will be able to retreat behind their wall, but that forces in those Pumpkin Sappers, bottom structures falling for the side of Calculated Throw. What I started to say was, that's a nice job of recognizing that Mal'Ganis was struggling with the double soak, though, and making sure they send somebody to cover that mid lane so they don't fall behind.
Yeah, Calculated Throw slightly behind. 10's already going over to the side of Wood League, but it looks like before this next altar spawns that Calculated Throw should be able to pick up those heroics for themselves as well.
And no showing on the Arthas. It is going to be Salvo, Nano Boost, of course, because Eye of Horus is banned. Actually going to be Army of the Dead. It's going to be Cocoon, I assume, Disintegrate Beam. Great job by Wood League completely cutting off that rotation and taking a free bell tower there.
We see the Napalm Strike picked up for the Hammer, Blessed Shield for Johanna. Carrion Swarm for Mal'Ganis.
And there's the cocoon onto the white main. They haven't been able to break her out yet. Now she's out of the cocoon. Mal'Ganis is just wreaking havoc on the Wood League backline. Some low health bars, but nobody going down yet. Revan's in trouble. There he goes. There's the reset. I think Johanna's going to go down too. And a big win for Wood League there.
Yeah, Purification Salvo didn't quite get the kills, but it got, you know, everybody's health bars down low enough that they were still able to follow up with the kills on both warriors. And it's giving them a free sapper camp.
And I kind of would like to see them push in with these.
Yeah, control of the bot lane is so important on this map that, you know, I think I would have liked to see them push in a little bit there too with those, but they opt instead to play it safe, sending people to soak other lanes, and for now the bot tower remains in control of calculated throw.
So 4 core health advantage for Wood League. However, with 2 members of Wood League showing in the top, great invasion here for calculated throw. Anna, do not rotate that way. You're going to be in a world of trouble if you carry that on.
Nubarak diving in. Falling to about half health there, but making it out okay. Grievant coming in to spreading around those sleeps.
This is a very scattered fight. Flanking Mal'Ganis caused trouble, but took a lot of damage. Cocoon, I believe, did not go out. But Army of the Dead did.
Yep, Carrion Swarm for Mal'Ganis, keeping him at about a third health right now, chasing down the Nubarak.
1 reset, that's all Li Ming wants is 1, but she can't quite get it.
Joanna's able to pop that shield and waltz away with just a little bit of health left. Grievant sleeping 3 members of Wood League and somehow making it out.
There's the reset, but Phoenix goes down as well, as does a Nubarak. Raynor will go down as well. A 2-4-2. But it looks like Wood League, despite splitting the team fight, actually going to get the altar one more time. Really great patience by Wood League of fighting around the hammer instead of into it.
Yeah, that was definitely a fight that could have gone completely sideways had they tried to force in. But like you said, the patience definitely won them that altar.
So Wood League showing signs of life, trying to force that game 3.
We're seeing Arthas and Mal'Ganis back up here in top lane. Everybody's still trying to keep up with Soak. I know they're trying to get 13s on the side of calculated throw. And they're picked up 13, so now both teams on even talent tiers again.
Yeah, Mystic slowly walking this down. Phoenix coming in on the flank, forced to jet propulsion away is Hammer. Then he re-sieges. Johanna, though, is getting body blocked to oblivion. A great shotgun by Hammer may keep him up, but the salvo on the stun, Johanna is in a lot of trouble. Blessed Shield to try to save herself, and it is successful or not.
Hit by that orb at max range. I mean, if she had been just a hair forward, that orb would have missed completely.
And here comes Mal'Ganis on the flank to rejoin his team. Arthas is still in the top, getting that soak. Sieging into a defensive hammer, though, is pretty tough, and Wood League is not going to try. They are simply going to withdraw and set up for what is going to be a huge triple altar spawn.
Cocoon will be down for this, for whatever team fights happen. I don't know if you saw, but the hammer did get cocooned under her own tower there, so that will not be an option for Wood League going into this objective phase.
So Arthas is already on the upper right. Mal'Ganis is already on the upper left. Wood League is posturing and positioning. Anna is going to be able to finish that. And that is going to be 2-1 in favor of Wood League one more time. Really great positioning, playing the map very well. A really clean game here from Wood League.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely, you know, like I said, they probably kept that positive mindset. They're coming back from this. They didn't let that first loss rattle them.
Now, Blessed Shield coming out to try to save his team from a flanking Arthas, who pops Army of the Dead. Johanna forced to pop. Ironskin gets away with less than 100 hit points, but she is still alive, and Phoenix is not. However, Wood League still going deep, trying to get somebody, anybody on the backside. They need this minion wave to come in here and tank the fort for him. It has arrived, and now Wood League finally withdrawing. They were so aggressive despite losing Phoenix. Calculated Throw now stepping up.
I think they had Hammer working to their defense there under their tower, putting out that damage while Wood League was busy chasing around the other members. Calculated Throw, so a successful defense on their part for sure.
Yeah, and Wood League there, they recognize how valuable that reset is on Li Ming. Raynor, I should say, was so low. Johanna was so low. They just weren't quite able to get Li Ming her resets.
Yep.
But this bottom fort, I think, might go down if they can walk these in there. No, they're actually walking away because of the double spawn in the top lane, trying to get Hammer that perfect positioning. Both teams are going to be level 15 born for another brawl over the bell towers.
Yep, and it looks like, again, Sapper's going to be left alone in bot. No one pushing those in too far. So for now, we're going to remain with the even amount of altars for both teams as they go into this next objective.
Yeah, Hammer was forced to stay bottom. This looks like a gentleman split, except for it's not. Hammer's trying to clear it out while Calculated Throw is taking a 5v4. They did posture and secure their side. Wood League going to be content with securing theirs. So a little bit of feeling out, some jabs thrown before ultimately taking the gentleman split 1-for-1.
And I think that was the right move on the part of Calculated Throw. They were down 16-15 at that point. And even so, Mal'Ganis getting caught out in his own lane there in top, and he falls.
Yeah, great rotation there. Now trying to pick up that Johanna. That's a little bit of a harder nut to crack, though.
Sapper's all cleared in bot lane, as we can see. Again, both towers still remaining in control of their respective teams. Haven't seen anyone really force that pressure in bot lane or, try to gain control there yet.
Yeah, and both of the teams' bell towers in the bottom lane are actually pretty low. If one of these teams wanted to step in and try to bring it down, they might be able to. Anubarak trying to use those beetles to tank it, and that's exactly what Wood League is going to do. They're going to use the man advantage. The danger ping's coming out, though, as they sense the flank coming, so really great map awareness there for Wood League. They did damage to the bell tower. They're leaving it perfectly low before rotating away, not going to eat that flank.
Yep. Calculated Throw managing to hang on to control of that tower by about 2,400 hit points.
That's a big cooldown for Mal'Ganis, though.
Yep, this Carrion Swarm down for next team fight.
And once again, a double spawn, both in the top lane again. Phoenix eating the stun, now taking a nap, does able to teleport away. But I like the positioning here for Wood League much better than I do for Calculated Throw. Li Ming is already in position to channel her side. They're dismounting them, they're slowing them, they're stalling them. They're making them just walk through so much stuff to get in position to contest the objective.
Yep, and Li Ming already done with capping there. She can rotate over. Cuckoo going out on the Mal'Ganis.
Raynor doing a lot of work on the backside. Purification Salvo goes out, unable to finish anybody off. Arthas is low, using those ghouls to heal himself, but it's not enough. Double stun onto Johanna and Mal'Ganis. Now the Purification Salvo goes out. It was interrupted before, and it is able to finish off Raynor at max range. Mystic able to get the channel, and once again, a 1-for-1 split in both kills and bell towers.
Yep, and I think the issue, at least one of the issues I saw in that team fight there, was Wood League was once again not able to get off those resets for the Li Ming. She was low health, couldn't quite secure those kills. They weren't able to use her quite as effectively as probably they had hoped.
I'm not gonna lie, Born. These bottom towers are tilting me. They're so low, and neither team is coming to finish the job.
Is that bothering you that they're just almost on that brink of falling?
Just a lot of bit.
Well, it looks like both teams taking their sapper camps here and kind of posturing in bot lane. We'll see if we see one of them trying to force this and push in and take that tower for themselves.
Now, Arthas is in the top lane, while all members of Calculated Throw are here, including a hiding Mal'Ganis sitting in that bush, waiting for the opportunity. He's probably a little far back now, but here he comes. Asleep, probably a little far away, unable to secure anything there, but he does drive Wood League back. Arthas still double soaking, trying to get that level 20, which is a little ways off, and this bottom fort will fall.
There you go. Finally, you get to see one of those bottom towers falling there. Carrion Storm once again going out on the Mal'Ganis. Don't know how much value that got there. That's going to be down for this objective here, spawning in about 10 seconds. So that's a pretty big cooldown.
I love this call from Wood League. That the timing of this fort falling could not have been worse. You cannot contest this bottom bell tower with that down, so instead they immediately rotate to boss and they take the 5v4 trade. Such a heads-up play for Wood League.
That was an excellent call, definitely, I think, on their part. Takes boss off the map. They can see that altar, but they minimize the amount of shots they take and maintain their lead.
Yeah, so many teams would have tried to force into that bottom bell tower, but Wood League didn't panic, and it was a very crisp, quick decision. Just rotate on up and take it, no problem.
Yep, I don't think we saw any hesitation from them at all, so definitely a great call.
So, match point here for Wood League. Any boss or bell tower will secure the win for them and force a game 3. They are posturing down in the bottom, trying to take this bell tower back. We're going to have a 5-on-5. Heroic advantages here for Wood League, but that does not matter for Phoenix, who goes down very quickly. And Wood League now maybe in a little bit of a danger zone. Born, they're going to have a hard time advancing into a Sergeant Hammer here.
Yeah, despite that cocoon coming out on the Mal'Ganis, it was just a little bit too late. Phoenix fell before that, and now Calculated Throw wreaking havoc on Wood League. They're taking some damage, but Mystic's still laying out that damage.
And I don't think that Wood League can contest these unless they get a cheeky kill here on Raynor, but it is not quite to be. Arthas has no mana. Li Ming has very little mana. They're still down Phoenix for another 20 seconds. This is such a tough call. Do you let them get both of these and you leave yourself with 1 core health? Do you try to sneak one? In kind of a disjointed engagement, it looks like Wood League is going to try to prevent this by themselves a little bit of time. Hammer did secure the bottom, but now all members of Calculated Throw are here. Anna is in trouble. Peels from a Nubrak. Get her out for now. Cocoon going out. Anna still alive somehow. And now all members of Wood League are up and running to the objective. A sleep dart keeps her up from Mal'Ganis. But Wood League Calculated Throw secures the bell tower anyway, and a death onto Arthas. Oh, it was looking so good for Wood League, but they're going to try to push these in and win.
I mean, this is what I said in the beginning of the game. This map is the best comeback map that Heroes has, and we have Calculated Throw here proving that.
And they're going to have to fight 5v4 into a Hammer Mal'Ganis Johanna and prevent these sappers from getting in, and any one of them need to be prevented. Disintegration Beam going down, Cavlord's going down, and I think this might be all she wrote, as desperate of a last stand as this is, and there it goes. A fantastic game 2. Calculated Throw able to pull it out in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep, be able to pull off that comeback. Like I said, that's so exciting to see on this map. Great plays made by them in the late game, absolutely. 11 kills to 8.
I really thought Wood League was gonna wrap that one up. It was right down to the wire there, though. That bottom lane bell tower falling when it did really proved to be a big factor at the end of that game.
Yep, I mean, like you said, I'm surprised it took that long in the game for one of those towers to fall to one team or the other. That they didn't seem to make them a priority, but once they did, it had a definite impact.
All right, so we're gonna see if we can get Mystic in here for a chat.
All right.
All right, yeah, and actually, I noticed that too. Nara in chat pointing out Johanna was it was it Johanna? Yeah, her version of Storm Shield. I believe she took that at 20. Yeah, instead of typically you see indestructible, but right at the end used Storm Shield basically there to eat the entire purification salvo, completely nullified it out.
Yeah, that last purification salvo, calculated throw seemed to make it through without any issues.
Oh, this is
What's up?
there he is. What's up,
Hey,
Mystic?
Mystic.
Hey, how's it going?
Good man. So 2-0 after a little bit of a close one there. That game too. What was the chatter like after that one?
Holy shit, we pulled it out. The hammer was not supposed to be picked there. We were busy talking.
Oh well, it turned out okay for you.
Yeah,
It
I'd
did.
definitely say that that worked out for sure. If you weren't going to pick Hammer, what would have been the pick there?
We were discussing that and we lost track of time. Uh, we were looking at KT probably.
Now I'll tell you
KT.
that is the third time so far this season I am aware of a team not picking who they meant to and actually win the game. So I'm going to say that's the secret to success. My squad accidentally let the timer go out and we had Arthas auto picked on us. I casted a game the other day where they ended up getting Zool instead of Mephisto, and now you guys. So I think that's the key to victory.
Well, thankfully we've know how to play with the hammer, and we knew we just had to hold it out. Pretty much get that bottom fort. We knew we could, if we ever got that bottom fort, we'd be in good shape. But took a little longer than I would have liked.
Yeah, they were really kind of controlling that game throughout. I mean, that's the the comeback map, of course. But did it feel to you guys like it was just kind of slowly slipping away, like the opportunities weren't quite there yet, or were you feeling good?
Early on, it wasn't feeling very good. Our Joe was doing a good job trying to soak the Li Ming shot so I could keep pushing up, but was getting a little extended at times. But we reared that back, and that kind of I think is when we started turning it around there at the end. And then we finally got that one team fight where we were set up before them, and that with hammer, that's all you have to do is get in position first.
So, two questions from game one. What was the thought process behind the Arthas ban? Was it something specific targeted, or just something you didn't want to see?
So, if y'all aren't familiar, Atron, Dan, and Mona were on Wood League last season.
We were aware.
And so I was letting them call the shots on the bans. They said they knew somebody would play Arthas most likely, and as you saw, he came out in game 2.
He did.
We were concerned about getting our front line kind of slowed and blown up. And he's pretty good on the shrines too, because he's got that nice AoE. So we had a game plan and we stuck with it and we went for it and it worked out for us.
And last question on game one, Rexar. What's your guys' experience been with Rexar since the changes? We were excited to see that.
That's our second time running them since the changes. That's our second win with them since the changes. And Grievin is very happy as he was a Rexar main long before we did NGS, before he became our support last year. And who's been running support, so he's very excited that Rexar got buffed at just the right time.
Yeah, I've heard some scuttlebutt from some people in the circles that I run with that they really like where he is at right now. So I was pretty excited to see you guys pick him up. And I was surprised at, I don't know why, I guess, thinking about it now, but I was a little surprised at how often and how effective he was able to control the mercs on the map.
Yeah, his job that whole shrines when they showed up to come in and kind of get that back gank on him, because Misha's very good at that. It stalled Phoenix out once or twice as well. And then when we had control of the shrine, we sent him to do camps. We wanted to we had the map control. We wanted to keep it going. And would only do the nearby ones that were close enough where he could rotate right back in. So, and he with the buffs that he's had, he takes camp super quick.
That's all I got, Born. It's all you.
I think my biggest question is that Zeratul ban. Is that targeted against someone on your team?
More than likely targeted against Mona.
Okay, so Mona plays Zeratul.
Yes, Mona plays Zeratul, and we'd already had the Diablo Jaina, so I think they knew what was coming.
They could see that coming, and they didn't want to deal.
Yeah, thankfully with the players we have this year, we have nice flexible hero pools. So that's all I'm going to say because we have to play you at some point. So
yeah, just give away all of your secrets.
Yeah.
This is definitely not me secretly scouting for my team. Definitely not.
That's why I co-casted all the matches last season.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm not going to lie. I love casting my own division because it's double duty. I get to scout and cast both.
Yep.
Just Rogol's been buffed.
So, Mystic, when are you casting next? When does Calculated Throw play next? How you guys feeling after double 2-0s?
Feeling really good. I mean, we started last year out. We got dominated by Lubu game 1, and we drew game 2. So we're feeling really good this year. Just starting this out. We know we've got some hefty competition coming down the pipe, though. I mean, we've got Found Vikings, Winking Face, Almost Legends. We play Regent Red next Tuesday at, I believe, 9 Eastern. I can even check that real quick because I have a scheduling channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder who's casting that game.
I don't know yet. Are you?
I am.
All right.
Self-plug.
Nice. Yeah, same time.
Mongoose promoting.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna get another cast until probably mid next week or late next week because tomorrow's Indy night and all the late games. I think there's like none Friday, and I have to be up 3 a.m. Saturday morning anyways for vacation trip. So no casting Friday night.
Well, if you are available,
yeah.
Where are you going?
I'll be back for the game. Don't worry. We're going to visit my brother up in Arkansas.
Oh, good times. Well, if you are available to cast Thursday night, there are like 37 uncasted games, so I'm sure you could find one.
My D&D group would kill me if I canceled 2 weeks in a row.
Can't cancel D&D. I get it.
Thursday seems to be the popular night, though. This season and last season, everybody wants to play on Thursdays.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the special event night now, but they all don't schedule them at 7.
Yeah, awkward. And furthermore, most of the casters are also playing Thursday night. So it turns out if all the games are on Thursday night and all the casters are actually playing, there's nobody to cast games.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, Mystic, congratulations. And thanks for chatting with us for a few minutes. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout-outs to Wood League. That was a hell of a game, too. You guys, we weren't feeling that one till that very last sapper across that line. The hell of a game. You guys are coming together really quick with the new team, just from what I saw last week. So very good, nice job. You guys are going to be a force coming down the pipe later. Shout outs to my guys. Shout out to Atron for staying up super late just so he could play his old team with Mr. Euro. And we got to plug in the line. That's an excellent way to stay in shape. So have a good night, y'all.
All right, Mystic. Take it easy, bud.
Thanks.
Take care.
Well, Born, we tried to put it together last week. Couldn't quite do it, but this week we did it. Happy to finally get the cast in.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for letting me co-cast with you. This was great.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun.
Anytime, you're more than welcome. Anytime we can get the East and West Coast schedules synergized.
Yep, as long as it's early enough in the evening because I'm an old lady at heart. I have an early bedtime. I can't be staying up super late.
I feel you. I'm the same way. Any shout-outs on your way out the door?
Shout-outs to both Wood League and Calculated Throw. I know both these teams. I've played with them. Thanks for letting me cast your game. Shout out to you, Mongoose, for having me. And to my husband for letting me do this.
Yeah, NGS spouses, best spouses, can confirm.
Yes, 100%.
All right, guys. Well, Twitter, Twitch, all my stuff is on there. You know where to find me. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday? Yes, I will be back tomorrow. Actually, Celeb Gaming versus Run in Places tomorrow, Heroic Division game. Be sure to check that out. And then at 9 o'clock, if a caster doesn't pick up my game, which isn't likely, I'll be POV streaming it, so check it out. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you around.
Yep. Good night, everyone.